Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. December 7th, 2018. We start with an article about a UK executive who was extradited to India over the claims or allegations of bribery and corruption involving the U.S. company Augusta Westland. Christian Michel was extradited to India from the United Kingdom, and he is alleged to have been an agent for the company going forward. Next, in a story that will probably be around for some time, the Huawei CFO was arrested in China yesterday. A woman named Ming Wangzhou. She is the daughter of the founder of the company and is now the CFO of the company. This has roiled the markets and is going to continue to be a big story going forward. It's not clear how the information of the allegations that she was involved in breaching sanctions for sales to Iran came about. One report says it was ZTE and their monitor who found it. Another report said it was HSBC, picked it up on a wire transfer. Nevertheless, the claim is for a violation of U.S. sanctions on Iran, and it's going to be interesting to see how China responds to this. Next up, finally, Wells Fargo is firing dozens of regional managers in light of its fraudulent accounts scandal. It fired 36 district managers for oversight failures relating to this sales scandal that erupted multiple years ago. You might ask the question, and it would be appropriate, what took them so long? Nevertheless, they finally got around to firing these people, both for the demands that employees engage in dodgy behavior and creating false accounts, and then certainly in the retaliation against whistleblowers, which has given Wells Fargo quite a bit of grief reputationally going forward. And finally, we end with a story that I think illustrates better than any, or at least as well as any, why good compliance is not only good for the legal perspective of following the law, but it's good for business too. The Wall Street Journal had an article about the push to end bumping passengers on flights. And if I'm sure everyone remembers when United physically dragged or had police physically drag a seated customer off of a plane after he'd been ticketed and allowed to board. He went off against his will. He was physically abused during this struggle. The downfall, or rather the outfall for United has been very bad, but what it's led airlines to do is to look at their bumping policy and stop because they realize now that it's a reputational disaster, but it's made them more efficient in their ticketing and their seating and booking. So it's an example of compliance being good business. The response to the Daily Compliance News has been quite gratifying. Several people have contacted me and told me how much they enjoy this daily summary, a short summary of compliance and corruption-related news. So I have decided to move this forward as a full-time series into 2019. Also, I hope you will check out some of the new offerings on the Compliance Podcast Network. Jay Rosen and I have started a new podcast series, Popcorn and Compliance, where we take a look at the movies and relate it to some compliance topics. Finally, Mary Shirley and Lisa Fine are starting a new podcast series, Great Women in Compliance. It premieres Wednesday, December 5th on the Compliance Podcast Network. I know you'll enjoy it. This is Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network. Thank you for listening.